Hey, what's up? It's Brian and Max from Up at Noon and Comic-Con at Home. Now, CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most anticipated games of 2020. Despite getting delayed multiple times, we still can't stop waiting for it. We've been poring over every single detail, but it's still so far away. But Max, what can people do to hold themselves over until Cyberpunk is out?
I have great news. You can educate yourself about the world of Cyberpunk with the World of Cyberpunk art/textbook from Dark Horse. This is the deluxe edition of this big kind of impressive book. I believe that this was meant to publish sort of alongside the game. So this might kind of contain some sort of world spoilers. But yeah, this is I believe, 192 page long book about, as the title would suggest, the world of Cyberpunk 2077.
That's right.
And
this differs a little bit from just like a basic art book. It gets into a lot more of the sort of like structure of the lore, characters, and all that fun stuff. This will run you $100. There's also a regular version that goes for $40. But man, this is a high quality book, and it's got that sort of the black bindings on the side and stuff like that, and the iconic yellow that I think Cyberpunk should basically patent at this point because I've seen it everywhere. Mm-hmm. But the book itself is super cool.
Yeah, so what I really like about it, we tend to grab a lot of art books and a lot of making of kind of behind the scenes things. I feel like with games, they usually come out kind of after the fact, and more often than not, they're kind of about, what went on behind the scenes. In this case, this is not so much just like, how did they make Cyberpunk? What were the ideas? This is more like an actual crash course in the world of Cyberpunk. This feels like reading like a history book you would get in high school. And it goes through, if you're unfamiliar, Cyberpunk 2077 is based in the world of the pen and paper RPG. So there's a bunch of existing lore out there for it. And if you're actually, if you're not up to speed on that, if you're not big on pen and paper role playing, or you're just too lazy to read the Cyberpunk Wikipedia, there's an entire sort of crash course, like the Fourth Corporate War, the Machine Wars, like stuff that happened in this universe that is going to be sort of probably addressed and touched on in the upcoming game, but which sort of has sort of a paper trail out there to begin with. Something I really appreciate about this, which is in itself very Cyberpunk, is that there's all these fake ads scattered throughout, and they're all, fittingly dystopian, like an ad for real water, only 99 e-bucks a gallon. I forget what the money is in Cyberpunk, but they get there's a lot of very just questionable dystopian futuristic things, like the sort of vaguely pornographic programming that exists in the future. I love this one a lot. This is in 2073, we've tripled the amount of airship fuel consumption to satisfy Australia's growing need for plastic. And there's this giant just shipping container just hurtling across the desert. And so the thing I like, obviously Cyberpunk looks badass. We've gotten some cool gameplay demos of it. The thing that this game really kind of reassures me about is that it is deeply tongue-in-cheek. Like, I would say it is just as much rooted in Idiocracy or WALL-E as it is in, Blade Runner and William Gibson. So yeah, there's some very dark humor in this.
Yeah, the thing that's really cool about this that has gotten me about more excited about the game than almost anything so far is just seeing the sheer amount of detail in a book like this in terms of how much world building they've done, in terms of structuring out the narrative. We always say that we like games that feel lived in, and that generally means that every single corner of the game world is accounted for in some capacity, meaning that they designed it to feel like a place you could walk around in. So there's billboards, there's ads, there's garbage on the floor and all that. But this goes really into a bunch of different art styles, from essentially graphic design, logo work, like stuff like this, which is really cool because it's vaguely alien, to also weapon design, which you'll see in sort of CG renders. But there's also lots of digital paintings of characters and scenarios and settings and stuff like that I really dig. Max and I both collect those, sort of old Art of Star Wars books and Ralph McQuarrie stuff and stuff like that. And this kind of scratches that itch for a lot of stuff coming for this game. But like Max said, with the addition of all these weird ads, which totally, I think, make this entire book a lot crazier and more vibrant, because it kind of feels like you're flipping through somewhere between an art book, a making of book, and a catalog for what it's like to live in that world yourself.
I mean, it feels like a tourist brochure for a place and time period that doesn't quite exist. There's one thing in here I really love. There's a whole chapter on vehicles, which are on their own really cool. And there's obviously the badass Yaiba Kusanagi motorcycle that we saw in one of the demos. But there's a little editor's note here, which I think is interesting. They say, we acknowledge that transportation is a vast field of technology in its own right. So for the purposes of this recap, we've limited the discussion to ground vehicles, aerodynes, and drones. We hope to present you with other articles on water vehicles, airplanes, and assisted combat personnel armor in the months to follow. Stay tuned, which maybe that's just like flavor text, but maybe that's teasing what they have planned for DLC. Like, are they going to go into boats and stuff? Like, I don't, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Maybe like throw some gigantic dystopian water world raft in there.
Yeah,
for,
but
cyber pirates.
It happened in Snow Crash.
Yeah, but there's a lot of maps too, which will give you a chance of sort of looking at a lot of different areas in the game. Like, honestly, like if you're looking to pour over details about what will potentially or definitely be in this game when it finally does release, look no further than this book, because it is jam-packed with cool stuff.
It's not quite a strategy guide, but it'll definitely teach you your way around the different boroughs of Night City. And hey, if you want to start kind of like really letting your cyberpunk freak flag fly, there's also a whole poster for Johnny Silverhand. Which is just, I think, almost in the Blade Runner font, and then there's a bunch of stickers. So if you want to start sort of throwing
tattoos, Max.
Are they tattoos?
Yeah, these are tattoos.
God.
Yeah.
Oh man. So if you want to really just start joining the whole, these are, God, that's so. So if you want to be like a real cool mature gamer and just rock some temporary tattoos, you can do that. So this is a bunch of silly bonus stuff. And then there's this, of course, the beautiful slipcover, which is just totally nonsensically shaped. But yeah, that is out from Dark Horse. That is out on July 29th. So very soon, just next week. And it is $40 for the regular version or $100 for the big deluxe version. You can probably find it on sale wherever books are sold. And we have lots more cool stuff to unbox here from Comic-Con at home in our houses, where we're stuck.
Stick around. We're here, but we have tattoos now. Might just wear them for the rest of the show.
We're going to be badasses now. Oh yeah.
You want to get cyberpunk face tattoos and just like do the rest of Comic-Con like that?
I think we might get a talking to for that.
That's okay. It's all Comic-Con's all about getting a talking to.